What's up, guys? It's Phil. Just wanted to get on real quick and talk about one of the hardest things a new photographer, videographer, creative struggles with when they're first getting going, and it's pricing your work. It's extremely unnerving when you're first getting going, trying to figure out what you should charge for a job or your services. I know I struggled with that when I was first getting going, knowing what my time was worth, what my services were worth, and quite frankly, I made a lot of mistakes and probably left a lot of money on the table. So an easy way that I found to find out what I should charge for a job is to work backwards. First off, start with a year. How much would you like to make a year? Then take that number and divide it into 12, and then divide it into 4 even then, so you get paid by the week. Or if you just want to keep it simple, find out how much you would like to make a year and then divide that by how busy you want to be. If you want to make $100,000, you need to determine, do you want to do 100 jobs for $1,000? Or do you want to do 10 jobs for $10,000? There's a lot more that goes into it than just saying, I'm going to charge $10,000 per job. Obviously, there's a lot of variables, there's a lot of things to consider. But starting off with knowing how much your time is worth makes all the difference in the world. That was a light bulb moment for me when I first got going. I struggled to charge, anything more than $100 for a photo shoot, which is asinine in today's standards. Nobody should be charging that little for a photo shoot. Your time is worth so much more than that. But I was young, I was dumb, I didn't know. I didn't have all the overhead expenses that I have now as a legitimate business owner. You gotta know your numbers, you gotta know intimately how much you need to bring in that month, bring in that year, bring in that quarter. You can do some local research and find out what other people in your skill set in your area are charging for the same jobs and kind of base it off of that. Now, you're not necessarily going to get a $10,000 job showing up with an iPhone and filming a commercial. But if you come to set with $40,000 worth of equipment, then you can charge whatever you want to charge. One thing that I really struggled with was seeing other photographers charging way less and being a lot busier than I was. So I felt like I was overcharging. I spoke with a friend who is doing about $80,000 a month right now in business, not necessarily photography, but in other business. And he had a light bulb moment for me where he said, those aren't your customers. The $100, $200 customers, they're just not your customers. Your work is so much better than those $100 photographers, and those clients are just not your clients. And I had to be okay with that. I had to really dig deep in me and realize, you know what? I don't have to go after every single client. I'm in a fortunate place now where I can pick and choose who I want to work with. And that only comes with years and years and years of doing this and having a reputation that I do have. That kind of freedom in my business doesn't happen overnight. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of late nights and long days shooting for, I've had shoots that lasted 12 plus hours, and they wanted a turnaround that same, maybe the next day or the day after. And lots of sleepless nights and a lot of spending money up front just to make it in the backside. But anyway, the gist of this video is find out what you want to make a year, a number that makes sense to you, that's realistic, and then work your way backwards. Do some market research and figure out what other people in your skill set and in your area are charging, and then decide if you want to be competitive with that. My philosophy is the cheapest is not always the best. The most expensive is not always the best. The best is the best. Make sure your product meets that number that you come up with, if you're charging per hour or per job. Make sure you can deliver on that number. Anyway, this was a completely random video that I wanted to do while I was on my way out to the gym, and just wanted to get this idea out to you guys because I know a lot of people struggle with this. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.